Man, we were this close to witnessing one of the biggest Twitter timeline meltdowns if Tre Jones had just put the ball up earlier for a shot instead of passing it off to Collin Sexton for the win. I mean, not only would it have been a blown loss, weird to call it that, but a blown loss in a game that I think most of us would have thought was actually going to be a win up against a Grizzlies team where you can't even name half the players that are on the court. The loss is right there. Bulls are fouling Grizzlies players to try and keep the game alive. Grizzlies are up 1. They have the ball. Bulls don't have any timeouts. But the Grizzlies turn the ball over on the inbound with 4 seconds left. The Bulls are on a breakaway to the basket, and a bit of a mental lapse on the part of Tre Jones, not realizing how much time was actually left on the clock and passing it off to Sexton where there wasn't enough time for him to get the shot off. But hey, key tanking loss. One, because the Bucks lost earlier today against the Spurs and put them ahead of the Bulls in the tankathon standings. But with the Bulls losing, that now puts them a half game ahead of the Bucks for the 9th best lottery odds. But then also losing to the Grizzlies puts them actually a full game closer to potentially, very unlikely, but potentially jumping ahead of the Grizzlies in the tank standings. They're still 4 games behind them though, with only 8 more games left in the season. It's not going to happen, especially with the kind of lineups that the Grizzlies are putting out there. I hate that we're here though, man. And I hate that we have to cheer for losses. I mean, people would have gone nuts if the Bulls had won this game and Collin Sexton was who led them to this win. But then, of course, those who would have lost their minds about the Bulls winning a meaningless game in March, you now see them talking about how I can't believe the Bulls lost to this Grizzlies team, how it says so much about this team that they can't even beat the lowly Grizzlies. It's like you can't win. No matter what happens, everyone is pissed off. They're pissed off if they win. They're pissed off if they lose. It just sucks that we're here. I hate everything about this process. And what's funny is that it's likely not going to matter. The Bulls still aren't likely going to be moving up. They'll either finish with the 9th or the 10th pick. Or of course, something crazy will happen where the Bucks will jump them to get into the top 4 with the 10th best odds, and then everyone who is begging for the Bulls to try to finish with the best odds possible, try to get in front of the Bucks, try to finish with an extra 6% chance of moving into the top 4, it all would have been for naught, because had they actually just gotten in front of the Bucks, they would have been the ones to move up. I know I'm talking in complete hypotheticals here, but my point is, this is why tanking sucks. When you're trying to tank after winning too many games in the season, it's a game of luck, a game of chance. A number of things could go wrong just as they could go right. But anyway, good tanking loss. I mean, the game was tough to watch. A lot of points in this game for both teams, really. A lot of sloppy basketball, terrible shot selection, bad turnovers, which is to be expected when you see the level of talent on both these teams. Now, from the Bulls' perspective, though, you took the L, but you did have a great game from Modest Bucelis, who got up a lot of shots, played a lot more with the ball in his hands, was active on the glass, was active on defense. This is kind of the game you want to see when you talk about a developmental game for Modest Bucelis. 29 points on 10 for 21 shooting, 3 for 10 from 3, still struggling to hit his outside shots. 10 rebounds, 4 assists, and 3 blocks. He also got to the foul line quite a few times, 7 in total. I would have liked to see Modest take the reins a bit more in those closing minutes. Need to see him get more touches in those moments over someone like Sexton or Tre Jones, but still a solid game for Modest all around. Aggressive, decisive when playing on the ball. Some bad turnovers here and there, but that was the name of the game for the Bulls, who had 23 turnovers as a team, giving up 27 points on those turnovers. That was really the difference maker in this game and why the Grizzlies actually won, who did not play well. They came out with the win because they won the possession battle. The possession battle was everything. The Grizz got up 25 more shots than the Bulls did. To be honest, it's actually a miracle the Bulls nearly won this game despite the fact that Memphis got up 25 extra shots. And then Josh Giddey, I wouldn't say it was a great game for him despite the triple-double stat line, 18 points, 13 rebounds, 10 assists, 2 steals, 3 blocks, was 5 for 5 from the free throw line. It was a good game from Josh, don't get me wrong, but a heavy turnover game for him. And I was getting pretty frustrated with his lack of hustle on defense, and his body language in general was not great. That said, what do you expect when your team is in the state that it is and isn't trying to win ball games? Again, the downsides of tanking when you talk about the negative impact and morale it has on your players. The other reason I say that it wasn't that great of a game for Giddey is because it's not really indicative of his stat line, the fact that he was a minus 15 when he was on the court, whereas Modest was a plus 14. Also, man, there is no way Patrick Williams got more minutes than Leonard Miller. I know Miller was quieter tonight in this game, didn't get up as many shots, only took 2 actually, when he had 17 the other night. Not sure what that was about. Guys just weren't getting him the ball. He didn't seem as aggressive on the boards as we've been used to seeing. But Patrick Williams, under no circumstances, I know I've said this before, but under no circumstances should he be getting more minutes than Leonard Miller ever, especially for the remainder of this season. It's not like Patrick was having some great game either. He was okay on defense, was slightly more aggressive on offense than we're used to seeing, but I saw no rationale for why we should see more minutes from Patrick Williams more than Leonard Miller. And then Colin Sexton, look, I get why Billy Donovan is giving him all of this playing time. I get that Rob Dillingham just hasn't been that good. He's just not there yet. Who knows if he'll ever get there where he could be relied upon as a solid rotational player. But in these final games, these last few games of the season, when you're already mathematically eliminated from the postseason, just play Dillingham. Sexton should not be getting double the amount of minutes that he is. Just see what you can do to build up Dillingham's confidence. Let him learn through those mistakes. It's okay. I don't like it because I actually like watching Sexton play. I love that he brings heart and hustle, but that's where we are right now in the direction that this team has decided to take. Play your young guys for the rest of the season. Give them some experience, even if they're not playing the best. Shout out to Sexton though, man. Just speaking strictly in a vacuum right now, not about the team's long-term future. I mean, he's just continued to be a bucket getter, an efficient one at that too. He's that spark really any kind of team that would need and want to have coming off the bench. 26 points, knows how to get inside and draw contact, got to the line 13 times in this game, 3 for 6 from outside, and was also just a second or two late from hitting the game winner on a nifty little up and under reverse layup. I don't know. I still think it's best for the Bulls to just let him walk this summer in free agency because he's going to want too much money and he doesn't fit the Bulls' timeline. But at the same time, maybe if the Bulls can get him on a decent number, bring him back as that veteran, that energizer that is going to build the young guys up and is going to get you a bucket when you need one, I could be talked into it. Depending on the contract amount, of course. We'll save that topic for a different day. Anyway, the Bulls lose. They've got the Spurs in San Antonio on Monday. Likely another loss, especially if all their bigs are going to continue to remain out. Let me know what you guys thought of this game. Let me know in the comments. As always, be sure to subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.